Today's episode is brought to you by the Pokemon Clefable. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of our Congress series. Today's episode, our Congress today was in session from 1859 to 1861. So, now we'll get to that. We'll talk about that later. I somehow think that this is completely wrong. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to go back here, and I want to make sure that is correct. Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. Okay, now we're going to go back here. Go over one. Okay. So yeah, I was right. Okay. I had to make sure everything was correct, and you should be plugged in, good sir. Thank you very much. I'll talk about my shit tablet, which, by the way, has Washington right there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. How many sessions were in this Congress? 2, and, just like in the last one, 2 special sessions. Yeah. Back to back. In the House, we have 238 members. The Speaker of the House is William Pennington, who was a Republican. Finally, we have a Republican Speaker. But, just like how I said before, it's not the Republican Party that we all know and love. Now, makeup of Congress during this time. Yeah, we'll kind of progressively talk about it as we move on. Basically, well, obviously, the Republicans hold the majority in both houses, right? Yeah, in both houses. So basically, the Republicans control this Congress. They have 116 seats and members, and yeah. We have 72 Democrats, in which 7 of them are, let's see here, what? Les Competents Democrats. I have no idea what that is. With the abbreviations of ALD, I have no idea. And 7 of them are Independent Democrats. We have 16 opposition from the opposition party. You guys remember that from Monday's episode, I think. 5 Americans, which again, the American Political Party, which are also known as the Know Nothing Party. And get this, this is probably the highest vacancy count in the House up until this point. 29 vacancies. Yeah, that's a lot. That's almost, I don't even think that's a significant amount. But during a time like this, when there are only like 35 states or something like that. No, 34 states. When there are 34 states in the country, yeah, that's significantly a lot. 29 vacancies. That is crazy. That's actually almost as many members of Congress that represent the state of Florida nowadays. Actually, it's adding one more, but still. That's a lot. And most of them are, yeah, they're all mostly Democrats. For one reason only, and we'll get to that later. The Senate. We have 68 senators, again, divided by 2. And as I said before, we have 34 states in the country, so yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. The president of the Senate, which is also the vice president, is John Breckinridge, who is a Democrat. Again, I cannot pronounce this guy's last name, so look it up yourselves and take your own judgment. President pro tempore, we have 4 of them, once again. We have Benjamin Fitzpatrick, Jesse Bright, Benjamin Fitzpatrick, again, and Solomon Foote, who is the only Republican President pro tempore during this Congress. The other 2 are Democrat. Speaking of the Republicans, we have 26 Republicans. Almost said Democrats. Wow. 25 Democrats, 2 Americans, again from the American Party, and probably the largest vacancy count of the Senate at the time. Maybe. I don't know. 15 vacancies. Yeah. Gotta love the secession calls. Speaking of which, this is our fact, or the important event that happened during this Congress. As you guys know, if I can recall correctly, December 20th, 1860, I think. Yeah. South Carolina became the first state to secede from the Union, and later, with the rest of the southern states, joined together and creates the Confederate States of America. Yep. Basically, this is when this is the Congress where the South secedes. They're like, okay, this is the final straw. If we don't get what we want, we're out. And they couldn't take it anymore. They left. They said, screw your country, we're leaving. And, yeah, they formed their own country, their own Congress, their own government, their own president, their own currency, and their own military. They even set up their own economy, separate from ours. Oh, man. And, yeah, you guys know what happens next. Speaking of which, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Stay tuned Monday when we talk about the Civil War, kind of, maybe, iffy. It depends on what I decide to put for, the information. Well, it's not only going to be Monday, but it's also going to be Tuesday as well. So, Monday and Tuesday, we'll talk about the Civil War and Congress, how they kind of commingle. Yeah, and stay tuned this weekend for a random video. Stay cool, stay tuned, and vote for me.